Good
Good afternoon, sir.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very sorry, there was little problem. I'm trying right now from my room. If I find you are not able to listen, I will again go out. I will take a break of a couple of minutes and I will try from my garden just in front of the house. So basically, to make you recall, uh, we were talking that day about group procedures. And in group procedures, we were discussing whenever two or more people are talking, what to observe, what a facilitator should and can observe when people are talking. एक मिनट जरा साइलेंट हो जाइए आप लोग धीरे धीरे सॉरी डिस्टर्बेंस है उधर जाके बात करो ना हम sorry I'm there sorry again. So two things we broadly observe. One is the content, and content is the subject matter or whatever we are discussing. Uh, all of us are experts. We have been studying, we have been discussing, we have been solving problems in teams, small groups, large groups, and we have been using so far our observations focused on the content. But as I explained that day, it's the process which makes us more effective in our discussions. So process, what are the things of process? What are some of the things of process which we can observe? I talked to you previous day. Today we are going to again continue with the same thing. I will not repeat all these things, content, what, task, process, how, team functioning, what to observe in a group, content, process, what are the some of the aspects of content, what are some of the aspects of group, and the total thing makes it group process. Facilitation is just essentially managing the group procedures more functionally. So about communication we had discussed. Decision making procedure also we had discussed. Influence, we were discussing influence. Basically, the whole leadership, management, everything is influencing. So participation and influencing are different dimensions. Which members are high in influence? That is, others listen to them and support them. Why it is important for us to identify such members? Because they are the people who can make changes, who are more acceptable to the group comparatively. So if instead of you or somebody else, you make those members speak, you make those members share their ideas, their feelings, I think group will take it seriously. Taking doesn't mean that accept it, at least listening and analyzing, and if required, supporting them. Which members are low in influence? Which are the members basically who are not able to? And sometimes the success of facilitation lies in activating such members. So if you identify, you can quickly diagnose what's the reason. You can ask a few questions from them or from the group. Any rivalry visible in the group, you can say it and you might have experienced it. Any struggle of leadership, any shift of influence, all these things we had discussed that day. We were discussing about the styles of influence: autocratic, peacemaker, laissez-faire. I had shared my experience in laissez-faire. Then comes group roles. Group roles. In the group, 5%, 10%, more persons. Basically, what is happening? What the people are doing? And as I told groups assemble together, teams assemble together for accomplishing a task. So whatever behaviors you are observing collectively or individually, which is helping in accomplishing the task, those things are kept under the basket of task functions. Does any member attempt to summarize what has been covered or going on in the group? So summarizing itself is a task behavior. It's not that the member has to give an idea. It's not that the member has to tell something new. Even somebody summarizes, that helps the group to go ahead because all other persons are able to understand that. Does any member attempt to summarize? Okay, I've covered that. Are members giving or asking for facts? In many of the meetings, members are not asking or giving facts. I remember many years ago I was doing a program in a many years ago, I think it is 3 decades. At that time, that TV manufacturing organization was amongst the manufacturers in India. That was the leading one. That is what I can say. So there I had gone to give them a not a session, a long session on performance appraisal. So whenever I was asking something, what are the strengths of their appraisal system or what are the shortcomings there, people were speaking. Sometimes so many people will speak together. Yes, but what was happening? The moment, अरे उसमें जाओ ना, समझा दो मुझे. But what happened? The head of the CEO, MD of the company, he suddenly came to the meeting and everybody stopped speaking. There was a silence. After some silence, I made some facilitating interventions and people started speaking. When one person spoke his idea about the strengths, some others also started talking about that. And you know, 2 persons, 3 persons will speak simultaneously. After 10 minutes, I sent a small cheat to the MD that, sir, please leave this group alone for a couple of hours. So that gentleman, under some excuse, he left. When he left, again there was silence. Can anybody say why people started speaking in presence of their MD and the moment the MD left, they became silent? Anybody who is listening? Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me, sir, madam? Hello? Hello? Are you listening to me, Arunji?
Yes, sir. We listen to you. Just move forward, sir. Just carry on. Right.
Nobody is answering my question, so I was worried whether they are.
Okay. Okay. Right. Right.
Can anybody come out? Why there was silence? Shall I speak or Nothing is coming here. Shall I speak or I should?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I'm Gurmel Singh, sir, attending the session. I
Ji.
would say that you guide what was the reason, because people falling silent after the MD leaves, I have not experienced that.
Why they spoke when their MD was sitting?
Sir, one guess I can make is they might be trying to impress the MD that they were very much attentive and attending.
Yes. Yeah, this is according to me, this is the appropriate answer. This is what I also thought, that they were not interested in the program, but they wanted to impress their MD. And the meeting went on. And again, after a couple of hours, after exactly 2 hours or so, the MD asked from somebody and I gave a signal. Anyway, so the thing is that who keeps the group on target, who prevents jumping. Sometimes they do topic jumping also. We are talking about basically task functions. So anything the members are doing to complete the task, that is a task function. The example, the experience I gave, where their task function was at a very low level because the members were not making much efforts to complete the task. The other function, when we are doing facilitation, studying a process, group process, is maintenance function. And maintenance function is basically whatever the members do to make it a conducive group, a interactive group, a performing group. Those things are called maintenance functions. I'm very sorry, I could see this morning only that from ISTD office I have got your list. I had requested few days ago. So I have sent you a questionnaire. I will talk about that. That questionnaire is based on task functions and maintenance functions. That what do you do when you are in a meeting? What are the things you are doing more or less under task function? What are the things you are doing less or more under maintenance functions? So in maintenance functions, a few things we can look at is that this maintenance function is important for the morale of the group, teamwork. A few things you can observe is who helps others to get into the discussion. Who helps others? People can help others by inviting them if they are silent. People can help them to stop somebody if that person is speaking too much, or people can focus on the silent members. They make them a bit active, interactive. So who helps others to get into discussion? These people are sometimes called gate openers or gatekeepers. Who cuts off others or interrupts them? This also happens sometimes, that somebody speaks, other person cuts off or interrupts them. They are the gate closers. They close the communication. How well are members getting their ideas across? Are some members preoccupied and not? Yes, many times meetings are the right place to do some homework or about some pending work or planning about some future work. So are some members preoccupied and not listening? Are there adequate attempts by group members to clarify their ideas. How are ideas rejected? Yes, acceptance of idea, rejected of idea, both happens. But if even rejection also can be done in a functional manner, but many times this rejection shuts off the person. So how rejections are being made? Under the maintenance function, maintenance functions, there is another thing which is evaluation. And in good groups, good teams, members, it is not a task specified to a person, anybody can do it. Task and maintenance aspects should be periodically examined. A periodic critiquing to look at how well the group is doing and also to identify hindering factors. Identified problems should be resolved by mutual discussion. Effective self-evaluation gives life, and sometimes it happens many years ago that I was the facilitator, and by chance my boss, director HR, not by chance, normally since he had been my participant in some of the programs. So he left to, he went and he came and he was observing the meeting. So after the meeting, I sent him a report that in this meeting, these decisions have been made and now our system is almost ready for implementation. And he had a one line comment that uh, was it not an one man army job? It was very bitter for me because one man army was me only. So task had been completed, but his observation was that sometimes perhaps I was pushing, I was not listening to others that way, and one man army. So this type of evaluations, if come during the life of the group or team, I think teams can perform better. So any comments about or any clarifications about group roles, that is task functions and maintenance functions? Anybody?
Yes.
I think participation in this group is low today also. Yes, I have some.
When we are talking of gate closers and gate openers, now, obviously, the facilitators should know when to open the gate and when to close the gate. You mean that? Sorry? Hello?
Just a second. Did you ask? Hello?
Yeah, when we are talking of gate openers and gate closers.
Yeah.
And now what I would like to ask you is, you mean to say the facilitator should know when to tell somebody to keep quiet and also tell somebody to tell why don't you speak and all. You mean it's that?
Yeah, not so directly.
Okay.
But the fact is that if you are facilitating a group meeting, and you find that out of 7 people, 2 persons are frequently speaking, or 1 and 2 persons are sitting idle. So the question is that it should be a matter of concern. And in a good team, what happens that without interventions of the facilitators, it occurs to some members, and that member says that okay, Ramesh had spoken 5 times in last half an hour, and I have not heard you, Suresh, even once. So maybe that person who has been totally waiting or silent or not that much confident, he may open his mouth. But if it is not coming from any of the member side, then it is a facilitation task how that facilitator, without ordering, without instructing, pass on message to the group that those who are speaking too much, they should, should not speak that much, and those persons who have not spoken, they should be given chance.
Okay.
So sometimes, for example, just 10-15 seconds. Sometimes, for example, the facilitator tells that I find few people have not spoken since morning. So this is a very clear indication and intervention that way that those silent members should also speak. And it also indirectly gives some message to those who are speaking too much that, yeah, please come out. Yeah, you want to say something? Hello.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I got it.
Is it clear or I confuse you?
No, no. It's very, very clear. Very, very clear. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are some members preoccupied and not listening? I have spoken earlier. Are there adequate attempts to group members to clarify their ideas? How are ideas rejected? All these things I was talking about evaluation. Effective evaluation gives life and effectiveness to team, and the facilitator in some way can pass on this message that everybody should evaluate for himself or herself. Next one is feelings and emotional issues. Actually, the whole of the process aspect, process dimension is is based on feelings and emotional issues. The participation, the silence, the interaction, the leadership struggle, rejection, acceptance, all these things depend on the feelings of the person undergoing either that moment or are in the grip of that feeling since a long time. The effective group will work, recognize what is going on, try to identify the issue, and the work permit the same emotional okay in the group that is understand. That's why in ISAFs, what is the course, the not course, they are programmed for developing facilitators, accredited facilitators, undergoing human process laboratory is one of the basic things. वो कुछ लोग आपस में कुछ बात कर रहे हैं. What signs of feelings do you observe in group members? Anger, irritation, frustration, warmth, affection, excitement, boredom, defensiveness, competitiveness, etc. So some or many of these feelings may crop up at different times in the group. A facilitator has to be sensitive enough to sense these, observe these, and give either share the observation about the feelings by himself or herself, or making it share by another participant. For example, say some discussion is going on about any issue, either a personal issue of a participants or organizational issue, and he finds that irritation, he finds that some members feel irritated, some members feel frustrated, or many members are having this type of feelings, negative feelings I mean. And when members are gripped with this type of feelings, obviously the task cannot be performed optimally. So facilitator may intervene at that time, and he may ask. Many times I ask the members that, gentlemen, where is the group? Where is the group? Some persons understand and some persons don't understand this question. Where is the group? Where is the group? Basically means emotion wise, where is the group? And group means group is not a individual or a person. That group will say I am angry or I am irritated. Members of the group, when they share,
Hello.
please tell.
Sir, just a minute.
Sure.
Just actually close the. Hello.
जी.
पार्थ सर आपका जो पीपीटी का स्क्रीन खुला हुआ है ना, उसमें लेफ्ट साइड में डॉक्यूमेंट रिकवरी का एक वो आया हुआ है पैनल, आप प्लीज उसे क्लोज कर देंगे नीचे से।
ओके वो
लेफ्ट साइड नीचे सर एक क्लोज का बटन है।
हाँ वो देख रहा हूँ, वो बटन दिखाई नहीं पड़ रहा है
सर, जहाँ पे लिखे क्वेश्चन मार्क है ना, विच फाइल डू आई वांट टू सी,
नहीं,
सर और लेफ्ट में आइए।
वो वहीं पे म्यूट पड़ा हुआ है। इसको मैं कर देता हूँ, ये क्या बोलते हैं,
हाँ, इसको यहाँ पे आपको प्ले मोड में ले आइए आप इसको जी,
है ना?
सब ठीक है सर, थैंक यू।
Sorry, thanks for pointing out. I was unmindful of that. Yeah. Yeah, we were here, feelings and emotions. So what I was telling, that if you find that there are in some people, there are some emotions, yeah, or feelings which are, either diverting the course of the group or is coming into some sort of blockage in the performance of the task. That is the time from the group, by this type of intervention, where is the group? If people don't understand, one can make clear that how the members of the group are feeling. So by telling this also, many of the members in the group, they catch up, they understand that they were doing something dysfunctional under these negative feelings, and either they will share or they will improve their behavior, or there will be a debate in the group that no, I was feeling comfortable, why are you feeling irritated? So these type of things. Even this happens, that's good, because everybody will be able to understand others' feelings and also the causes or reasons of those feelings. What signs of feelings do you observe in group members? I have spoken about. Do you see any attempts of the group members to block expression of feelings, particularly negative feelings? Yes. Sometimes this happens. Many years ago, one of our gurus, he was facilitating a OD, our OD consultant, and I was an intern of ISAPS those days. He knew, so I was assisting him. And when he was talking to the group members, about their image of their leaders, their superiors, some young persons started sharing their negative, impressions about the boss. They are very bossy, they don't listen, they shout and this and that. But one of the senior members of the group, he rose and he told his gentleman, we should behave like responsible officers. This is not the place to criticize our superiors and this and that. So when this type of things happen in the group, I think it is plenty of data for the facilitators, and he knows that these beliefs of this person are of different type, very dysfunctional type, and something will have to be done with that person. So, you can identify this type of people also. Yeah, how this is done and does anyone do it? Okay. Emotional issues are causes of self-oriented behaviors in the group. I will not explain in detail. I will give a handout of everything which I am showing to you. One is that the problems of identity. That day, previous day, I was talking about inclusion. So inclusion is one thing. Identity. Who am I in this group? Am I a capable person in this group? Am I a lovable person in the group? Or I am a nobody in the group? Or am I a hated person in this group? These things matter a lot. Where do I fit in? And what kind of behavior is acceptable? And what kind of behaviors are not acceptable? Problems of goals and needs. What do I want from the group? Very million-dollar question. Different people want different things from the group. Sometimes we want that group should support me. Sometimes we want a person wants that the group can give affection to that person. Sometimes they want that group should differ with them so that they are able to see all the facets of the problem. So can the group goals be made consistent with my goals? Yes. When in the team, a member finds that the team's goal are not consistent with that person's personal goals, then lot of dissonance starts happening. So problems of goals and needs. This is also one thing. Problem of power, control, influence. I have spoken enough on that. Problems of intimacy. How close will we sit to each other? How personal? How much can we trust each other? The problem of intimacy sometimes helps this group, intimacy of members, and sometimes this intimacy blocks the group. To be very conscious about it. Dependency and counter dependency. I think I've spoken that I have told that different types of dependencies, that without knowing dependency is good or bad, that I'm nobody to judge. But opposing or resisting anyone in the group who represents authority is counter dependency. Some persons, they search causes or reasons to oppose a an authority person. So this is the dependency, and dependency can be functional and dysfunctional both. Counter dependency is always mostly dysfunctional. That is that, yes, I am depending on somebody. Uh, I am speaking, and while speaking, I am looking towards somebody. And dependency's positive thing is that when I find that this person is more knowledgeable than me, whenever he or she speaks, I accept to that. So dependency can be in one occasion good, another occasion dysfunctional. Fighting and controlling, assuming personal dominance, attempting to get own way regardless of others. These type of things also happen in the groups or teams, and I have faced it head on collision जो बोलते हैं, मेरे साथ बार बार हुआ है, because my role itself was to bring out new interventions in the organization. Withdrawing, trying to remove the source of uncomfortable feelings by psychologically leaving or withdrawing. And when persons withdraw, the energy of the group comes down. The other thing is that the good ideas remain with the person, and there are various reasons people withdraw. I was giving you an example about entry of a multinational consultant, and in the first meeting, although I was the expert, not only first meeting, out of 7 days meeting, 2 days I did not open my mouth, because one thing was that my heart was burning from inside. The other thing was that with that person, those persons had basically taken my baby. So I thought that okay, कंपनी का काम है, इसको होने दीजिए, मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा। लेकिन जब दूसरे दिन कुछ लोगों ने उसको आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया कि भाई दिस पर्सन इज नॉट ऑफ दिस टाइप, देन ड्यूरिंग द टी टाइम one of my friends told, okay, Partha, we understand you very well, but the thing is that if you won't open your mouth, these people will totally, blackmail the company, and they are going to not only do this project, they are going to do this project at a very high cost also. So, is it not, as a member of the organization, your responsibility to come out? And then, whatever dilemma was going inside me, when during lunchtime, two or three very senior people in a very friendly manner they told me that your silence will cost the company heavier. Then I came the afternoon meeting and I started questioning every element of cost, and the cost was reduced by 60% because I was very thorough with most of the things. I had the industrial engineering background, so that helped me a lot because the main consultant who was talking here, after hearing, he gave a call to the black in the organization and asked the may I know his background. And when the background, he told that he has been a hardcore industrial engineer for 10 years. That person became cautious, talked to his Singapore master, and then his response was different. So the thing is that the withdrawal sometimes costs very heavy to the organization. Pairing up, this you might have seen that two people, because of some reasons, they have paired up, and the facilitator has to observe, and maybe the facilitator can make some interventions that the group members also are aware of this and are able to guard against them. Uh, Response to authority. A very very big problem in facilitation. Response to authority, particularly in a meeting where the authority figure, the senior person is also sitting, the juniors are also sitting. So, what is the response to authority? The interesting part of this thing I saw when, along with this Thomas, their competency assessment people, they had got a big contract from Government of India for IAS people. They wanted to humanize their personnel department. So they took me also as an expert with that. So there we did some group work we had to do, and we have to divide. All the IAS people were there, right from secretary was also there, but secretary we told me you don't participate, you go be in your room and we will be briefing you. Others were there. So divide them for teams, different teamwork, horizontally or vertically. This discussion is itself went for 2 hours. One of these, clients person was also with us. He was also an IAS, and ultimately we told that it should be a mixed group. But mixed group means some junior, some senior, and in the group discussions, the juniors were hardly opening their mouth. And whenever they opened their mouth and some different opinion came from the seniors, they will say, ki, sorry sir, or okay, I think I was thinking the wrong way. So you can know that in that type of situation, how good decisions can come. Fight and flight, yes, you understand that, and this is also one thing which affects defense mechanisms. Very big barrier. in facilitation, and sometimes the facilitators, they themselves become defensive. If they find that something they have told the group has not, they don't have enough data for that, and the group basically is giving the message that facilitator, you are wrong, and in order to save the face, facilitator becomes defensive, and that is the worst thing in facilitation. Yes, it has happened with me also a few times that the point which I was harping on since a long time, and I found that no, what some persons in the group are telling, I think that is better than what I was telling, or that has less flaw or no flaw. I think in that situations, according to me, openly, very sportingly, the facilitator should accept that. Okay, yes, I was wrong. Um, I did not have this perspective. Yeah, I do it. I usually I do. Different types of uh, these things are there. I'm not going to talk about all sort of defense mechanisms. You can see some book, or if those of you are interested, I can give you a separate reading on what are the different types of defense mechanisms. Yes, these days is a competitive world, and in the competitive world, the success lies in the new ideas or innovative ideas, innovation. So, how the group can be more creative, how that group, how the group should go on experimenting with new ideas, that is a great facilitation task. And when you are observing, you can observe what's the creativity level of the group. You are asking something from me, ma'am? Hello, I'm not listening. I'm not able to listen to you. Brainstorming and all these things are very useful in this. Experimental attitude should be encouraged. And whenever we are doing experiment, not always success, failures also. What is the group atmosphere? है ना, ग्रुप एटमोस्फेयर कैसा है, हॉट है, कोल्ड है? General impression about the group working. Who seems to prefer friendly, congenial atmosphere? Is there any attempt to suppress conflict or unpleasant feelings? Who seems to prefer atmosphere of conflict and disagreement? Do any members provoke or annoy others? Do people seem involved and interested? Is the atmosphere one? These are some of the aspects. But in fact, the thing is that how members, first thing is that how you are feeling working with the group. And that will be your judgment of the group atmosphere. कहीं पे मजा आ जाता है और कहीं पे बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. For example, I was facilitating a lab. I have facilitated many such labs with IIMs. I am in Indore when it was, I think, 3-4 years old. I am in Indore. And there I found that the atmosphere of the group was very, very detrimental to effectiveness. Together, all the group were against the facilitator. It was to prove that they don't need any sort of lab. And after some time, within themselves, there was very, dirty type of competition. So basically, 3 days went that way. And after 3 days on, and we were working day and night, almost we were working in a resort 15-16 hours every day, minimum 15-16 hours, 18 hours every day. So that thing, Whereas certain things are there, one organization, particularly in Bangladesh, two organizations, they are their leaders there, pharmaceutical organizations. Right from my first visit till my nth visit there, whenever I am facilitating anything with them, it's a matter of joy, it's a matter of excitement. And definitely the results will be better. Norms and a group atmosphere. Norms is another way of understanding the group atmosphere. Standard or ground rules developed in the group. What happens? In order to avoid a very dysfunctional atmosphere or negative atmosphere, some facilitators or some teams, they themselves develop some norms that we will be working in this group this way. These are the acceptable behaviors in the group and these are the unacceptable behaviors in the group. So when norm setting is done in the beginning, then anybody who is trying to cross that norm is definitely pointed by somebody or others that this is, you are going against the norm, and again people come back and atmosphere remains a good atmosphere. Good atmosphere. Many questions in this. What happens between the competing groups? I will leave it to you for reading. I will not explain because I have written in very simple words. Many of you are aware also of this one. Now this part is, to basically conclude this group process. What makes work groups effective? Many things are there, but three things basically are very important for group effectiveness. One is the group process about which we are talking just now. And these reverse arrows you see indicate that the structure affects procedures and procedures affect structures. And then the third thing is that organizational context. So group process alone has minimum limited effectiveness, but group structure and organizational context, these things which are in the background, those things also affect group effectiveness. What are the three criteria? Products or services delivered by the group exceed the performance standards of the persons who receive it, use it or review it. So this is one criteria, that whatever the products or services delivered by the group exceed the performance standards of the persons who receive it, use it or. So in this we have included the internal as well as external customers. The process and structure used to carry out the work maintain or enhance the capability of members to work together. I think I am spoken something here. The group experience on balance satisfies rather than frustrates the personal needs of group members. All the three criteria need to be fulfilled to be a really effective group. The three factors we are talking about it are group procedures, group structures, and organizational context. Group process refers to how things are done rather than what is done. We are discussing that only. Two primarily group procedures, problem solving and decision making. There are many group procedures, but problem solving and decision making, they are most versatile, and every day, every time we are engaged in this, groups apply their problem solving and other processes to identify and solve their problems. Yes, group process. The other thing is structure, refers to the relatively stable characteristics of a group, including its task, memberships, roles of each members, the time availability of members, and shared values and beliefs, that is its norms. When members change the pattern of interactions, they change the structure. And that's why many times different organizations keep on experimenting. For example, the conventional hierarchical structure. From that went some sort of matrix structure, different types of, from that went semi-autonomous groups, so that the groups don't feel that there is some boss or something like that. Fully autonomous groups. All these things we have experimented in the organization where I was working, and that's why I'm telling that even within the strict structure of the group, for work's sake, this structure can be changed. I will give you a very simple example. I was heading the institute also, apart from being the head of the HRD for the BHEL. And uh, before I became, I was, I think, additional general manager, senior deputy general manager at that time. And I found that the head of the unit is the program director. Program director means all the programs will be conducted in his directorship, and under him there will be a program coordinator. So uh, senior people of the institute, senior HRD executives or trainers, they will be the program coordinators, and one person will be the secretarial person. I don't remember what we used to call them, but secretarial person, typing and all these things, paperwork for that. So this was going on since 75. And I'm talking you of, I think, 94, 96, 94, 92 I came to the institute, 94. So in 94, when we were doing our planning for the next year, I had seen the problems of this type of a structure, that all the programs, that person, he doesn't have time, he doesn't have that much competence also, and unnecessarily for his approval, everything was, waiting for. And senior people, they were thinking that the coordinator, yaar, itne saal se coordinator bane hue hain, I'm doing the programs independently, I'm such a strong faculty, and this person coordination. So that's after this having a discussion with friends and all, and I made a structure with their help, and we proposed it next meeting to the boss that uh, program director's position is going to be decentralized. When we identify the programs for next year, then a massive exercise. We finalize it in the month of February, that the next year we will be going to these programs. So once the programs are finalized, then these senior people, say who are DGM and above, in exception there were some senior managers also who were very good faculty. So senior persons will be the program directors, DGM and above. And next junior persons, they will fill up the second layer of program coordinator. And secretarial staff will be there with the team. So this is a 3% team for every program. And when it was proposed, initially the boss did not agree, because he thought it is an erosion into his authority, or and so, but discussion went on, and we told that you are the head. So you are the head, so you need not have a role. Yes, if you also want to do some program under program director, you can also become a program director. And we convinced him that this will break structures, hierarchy, people will be more participative, more responsible, and then he agreed. And that is going, I think, in this date. Highly successful type of thing. So question is that from the group process, this thing had come that structure should change. And when the structure changed, then the process changed. And the program director became become fully responsible for the program. Yes, if he needs the help, he will go. Yes, financial approvals and all those things will be in the hands of the. It went on very well. A few components of group structure may be enumerated academically here are clear goals, motivating task. Yes, this task became more motivating to the coordinator also and to the program director also. Appropriate membership, clearly defined roles, sufficient time, effective group culture, group norms. Some of the organizations I know, very renowned organizations, they basically adopted our type of structure. Organizational context includes aspects of larger organization that influences the group, but that the group does not control. This should include clear mission and shared vision. In a number of organizations are there, but I can talk about the organization where I went for the longest period. The thing was that earlier these training, development, personnel, HR, all these things were almost independent functions, and they were working in their own domain. The organization had a very good record of corporate planning. BHGL was the first organization in the country, including public sector and private sector, who adopted formal, printed, published corporate plan since 1974. 74. So they had a very strong this thing, but still these functions, some of the functions were working independently. Question is that uh, when in 82, I was very young, but it was, I have no just been saying, it was my intervention that can we link our work, our plans with the company's corporate plans. It was called corporate plan those days. And later on, what was the corporate objectives? That was made the mission, well vision and all these things, well vision, mission, values. So all these things were done, and I was an active member of that group which were working for this under the leadership of MB Athreya. At that time, he was engaged as a consultant for this vision mission, and I got the opportunity to understand what is the role of HR function and HRD function in achieving the goals of the organization. So we linked, I was given the task of making 5-year functional plan for HR function, including HRD function, and linkage with company's vision mission. And we made our own HRD vision mission, HR vision mission, and all these things. So in organizational context, particularly this particular thing helps a lot to align our efforts. And these things have a bearing on the structure and also on the group process. Because what happens, we are talking about anything, these programs, then we will see how this is related to the vision and mission of the organization, how it is related to the 7 values enumerated by the organization. So this context was basically helping us optimize our efforts. So friends, this was about group procedures, and I know that I have taken some more time on this, but for facilitation, I think this is one of the core activities. Everything we will do or we do as a facilitator revolves around this. Yeah, any comments about group procedures? I think I have confused you, or I have given some food for thought. Is anybody hearing?
Yes, fine.
I'm hearing, I think, only one voice since last 1 hour. Anybody else would like to say? You are present, listening, sleeping. Where are you?
When we are talking of supportive culture, don't you think the culture of one organization differs from others? Some may be supportive, others may not be supportive.
It differs, not only organization. If there is a multi-unit organization, even one unit is different from the culture of another unit.
Okay.
It differs.
Okay.
And we have to be effective even in this diversity.
I see. Thank you.
Okay, let me. Just I'm trying to bring out something else. Okay. Just a minute, transparency, I will bring it. Yeah. Shall I proceed?
Yes.
Friends, the way we are going, it is It may appear it is very theoretical. One exercise I did, but it could not go that well. Two reasons. One reason from my side, logistics problems. Second was less lack of participation. Today also, lack of participant appears to be there. The thing is one instrument I have sent to you, and next session we will be discussing that, and you have to fill up. I think instructions are there. If there is any difficulty, you can call me personally, or if time I'm able to save today, I will talk. That you are all experienced people from different functions, including this function training and HRD also. So many things you are aware of, but some persons may not be aware of. The thing is that facilitation is not only a technique. One has to have the relevant conceptual background. If you have the relevant conceptual background, which will give more confidence and it will make you different from others. So, concept means good knowledge of organizational behavior. I'm sure all of you might have undergone organizational behavior. But the way we study organizational behavior for an examination and the way we understand or study organizational behavior through training programs or interactions, there is a little difference to that. So a few concepts which will be helpful in facilitation, I am going to present to you. If you are already aware, it may be a refresher to you, and if not, I think my effort will be fructified. So thing is that facilitation, we facilitate people, and for facilitating, we have to understand human behavior very, very clearly. So question is that how do we understand anybody? How do we understand a person? On what basis? On what basis we understand a person, or we make our judgment or impression about the person? The person is like this and the person is like that. Can anybody tell me? What is the basic thing on the basis of which we understand people or make our impressions about
Same wavelength.
them?
If the
How-
wavelength of
how
the two
do we
persons
know?
are same, then automatically, understanding grows between the two.
Agreed. But the fact is that how do we know that our wavelength, my wavelength and your wavelength is same?
To some extent, even background of both the persons are important.
So background is a hidden thing.
Yeah, it's a hidden thing. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, right.
You may be belonging to a very rich family. I may be belonging to a poor family. You may be more educated. I may be less educated. You might be having 5 brothers and sisters. I might be alone. So it is that.
Yeah.
How do we know that our wavelength is same? सिंपल इसमें ज्यादा पढ़ने लिखने का जरूरत ही नहीं है। कैसे पता चलता है कि हाँ इस आदमी का वेवलेंथ मेरे जैसा है या मेरे से डिफरेंट है?
एटीट्यूड
एटीट्यूड थोड़ा ज्यादा अंदर की बात है।
ओके,
राइट, आई विल नॉट से योर आंसर इज रॉन्ग, बट थोड़ा अंदर की बात है एटीट्यूड। एटीट्यूड सीधे दिखाई नहीं पड़ता है।
a response to a particular situation.
The question is that.
How A behaves and how B behaves.
Only one word I have heard from your statement.
Yeah.
Behave, behave,
Hmm. Hmm.
and behavior. And what is behavior?
Hmm.
Whatever we do is behavior.
Hmm.
टेक्स्ट बुक में आप पढ़ेंगे तो 6 लाइन में बताएगा
Right.
और वो समझ में भी नहीं आएगा. मेरे को आज तक समझ में नहीं आया टेक्स्ट बुक पढ़ के कि बिहेवियर क्या है.
Hmm.
लेकिन ये मैंने समझा है कि बिहेवियर इज वट एवर ए पर्सन डज,
Hmm.
that is that person's behavior.
Hmm.
Whatever I'm doing, I'm not in front of you, but you are experiencing me.
Hmm.
Whatever I'm doing, that is my behavior. Right, sir?
Hmm.
So, question is that ki whatever we do, our behavior. So, the basic thing on the basis of which we understand a person, that is the behavior.
Hmm.
Because other than behavior, you can't see that. Qualification देखोगे तो उससे behavior का कोई अंतर नहीं. So that is our behavior. You see, it is just like an onion or just like a lotus bud. Lotus bud. बाहर से आप देखोगे तो एक cover दिखाई पड़ेगा, rough cover with some मटमैला रंग और greenish or whatever it is. So shape, size, all these things are the exterior. So basically, our behavior is also our exterior. And based on our behavior, we start understanding people or we understand people.
Well, I have a little problem here.
Sure.
And my problem is sometimes behaviors are deceptive.
Hmm.
Then in that context, what do we need to do?
आप हमको एक स्टेप आगे ले जा रहे हैं.
Hmm.
कब हम कहते हैं कि behavior is deceptive? Behavior is deceptive means the person is wearing a mask. Am I right?
Yeah.
जी,
Right. Right.
है ना?
Ah.
तो आपने ये तो समझ लिया the person is wearing a mask.
Hmm.
And on what basis you have understood it?
Hmm.
On his behavior.
Hmm.
When that person's behavior in the similar that, then we think that ये कह कुछ और रहा है, कर कुछ और रहा है. So deceptive behavior है. मास्क हम पहनते हैं, हम आ रहे हैं, उस पे भी हम आ रहे हैं, आ ही रहे हैं उस पे. अब ये बिहेवियर जो है, what causes behavior? Why do we do something? अभी आपने हमें रोका और बोला कि you have some problem, है ना? So what happened inside you? For stopping and telling me, did something happen inside you? Why you came out to stop me and share what you were saying? Ji?
Because I thought there is another perception to what you are saying.
ठीक है, वो तो आप thought, but अंदर में क्या हुआ?
अच्छा, अंदर में हाँ.
अब भाई अंदर में कुछ हुआ तभी तो आपने रोका ना.
हाँ, right.
अंदर में कोई फीलिंग हुई?
Right.
Feeling of curiosity,
Hmm.
irritation, feeling of something,
Feeling of
curiosity, right, sir?
Hmm.
So question is that just behind any behavior is the feelings. When does a person smile? अब तो रोज स्माइल करता होंगे, मेरे ख्याल से वही भी स्माइल आपने किया होगा.
Sometimes our smile is also forced smiling, because if the other person on the other side smiles, courtesy says that we should also smile, though the real smiling is not coming from our face.
So when a person is smiling for courtesy sake, दूसरा स्माइल कर रहा है इसलिए मुझे भी स्माइल करना चाहिए, तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, मैं भी एक मास्क पहन रहा हूं ना, है ना।
राइट राइट
तो ये जो हमारा बिहेवियर है स्माइलिंग, इज इट माई रियल बिहेवियर?
नो, डिसेप्टिव बिहेवियर।
इट इज ये पता चल सकता है कि नहीं कि डिसेप्टिव है कि नहीं है?
हाँ, फिर से पता चल जाता है, एटलीस्ट
पता-
टू सम एक्सटेंट पता चल जाता है, to some
पता चल जाता है, कभी कभी हो सकता है नहीं भी पता चलता हो, लेकिन जनरली पता चल जाता है। तो क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि स्माइलिंग के लिए द एप्रोप्रिएट फीलिंग इज कुछ हैप्पीनेस होना चाहिए अंदर में,
Right.
कुछ जॉय होना चाहिए, उस टाइप की चीज होनी चाहिए, है ना, कुछ एम्यूज्ड होना चाहिए, देन ओनली बी स्माइल ना।
Unless you
So-
are unless you are blissful, how can you smile?
How can you smile? So question is that smile is because of one or more of this type of feelings which I have just now narrated. When we give a forced smile,
Hmm.
अंदर में कोई फीलिंग फिर आई है कि if I don't smile, this person will feel bad,
Bad.
है ना।
Hmm.
So this person will feel bad, so I am smiling. तो वहां पे अंदर की फीलिंग क्या है? अंदर की फीलिंग है फीलिंग कंपल्सिव, फीलिंग प्रेस्ड, कि नहीं भाई मेरा स्माइल करना तो अभी जरूरी है, नहीं तो इनको बुरा लग जाएगा।
Hmm.
तो वो जो स्माइल तो आप देते हैं, लेकिन ये फीलिंग भी उसमें विजिबल हो जाती है कि स्माइल इज नॉट ए स्पॉन्टेनियस स्माइल, दिस स्माइल इज ए artificial smile, and if the person, many persons find that, they observe that, they understand that, and then लगेगा कि यार ये आदमी भी मास्क पहनता है, तो जो आपने की जो क्रेडिबिलिटी है बाद में उसमें कुछ अंतर पड़ सकता है। एनीवे वो तो कॉज एंड इफेक्ट की बात है, बट हियर आई विल ओनली से दैट एनी behavior is triggered or caused by a feeling. शाउट करते हैं तो क्यों शाउट करते हैं? Why do we shout at somebody? कब हम शाउट करते हैं सर?
हाँ, हम लोग शाउट करते हैं when you are not able to tolerate.
एंग्री हो गए, इरिटेटेड हो गए, so that anger and irritation is the feeling, and shouting, banging, that is the behavior. Am I clear?
Yeah, that is the outcome of our behavior.
Now question is that if I have not put a barrier or a mask between, or a colored glass between my behavior and feeling, I will be understood by other persons more clearly. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
पार्थसारथी बहुत जल्दी गुस्सा हो जाता है, ये लोग समझ सकते हैं, है ना। तो लोग समझ लगे कि पार्थसारथी बहुत ज्यादा गुस्सा हो जाता है, तो आफ्टर सम टाइम मैं जब गुस्सा होऊंगा तो लोग उसको इग्नोर करेंगे कि जाने दो यार, ये तो आदत ही हो गई है,
हाँ,
है ना,
इनका आदत हो गया, हमेशा गुस्सा होता है।
आदत हो गया है। तो क्या हुआ? माई अंडरस्टैंडिंग हैज इम्प्रूव्ड और रिड्यूस्ड?
Improved.
They have improved me better. They have improved me
In understanding you.
in understanding me. है ना। मैं जब ज्वाइन किया था BHEL को, तो रांची में मोस्टली सॉफ्ट फ्लोर में ज्यादा जाता था स्टडी करने के लिए, हेवी इंजीनियरिंग कॉर्पोरेशन में। तो मशीन चलते रहते थे, तो लोगों से बात करो तो जोर जोर से बात करो, फोन से भी बात करिए तो जोर से बात करिए तो सुनाई पड़ेगा, नहीं तो नहीं सुनाई पड़ेगा। तो ये एक तरह से हैबिट हो गया। So when I came to BHEL in their corporate office, management services, corporate management services, तो मेरे पास कोई कॉल आएगा, टेलीफोन कॉल आएगा, तो मैं उसी तरह से मैं बात करता था। तो एक दिन देखा कि सब जब मैं बात करता हूँ तो everybody, some of them, they start looking towards me because we were sitting in a hall office, we were sitting in a big hall, तो एक दिन एक आदमी था, वैसे तो हमसे जूनियर था वो, लेकिन नाइस पर्सन, सारे लोगों में लगता था कि मतलब ही इज वेरी क्लोज टू मी. So that person came to me and he whispered in my ears, Parthaji, here on the phone we talk in a very low voice. ना
Please talk in a low voice.
लो वॉइस. तो हमको लग गया कि इसको बुरा तो लगा है, लेकिन ये बेचारा बड़ा समझदारी से आगे हमको, उस समय मैं था बिहेवियरल साइंस वगैरह से कोई ज्यादा हमको मतलब नहीं था. तो क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि इसका असर पड़ता है, ये होता है. तो इफ यू आर अंडरस्टूड then it's good. Even if people understood, or I don't think that is always harmful. That is mostly लोग जाने कि ये आदमी में है या नहीं है. Anyway, one thing is that we succeed in creating an authentic image about ourselves in others. Now the next question is, sorry, time is coming to an end. That feelings, ये feelings कहाँ से पैदा होता है? What are the things inside us which creates these feelings?
People only remember how you have made them feel. They forget
Feelings.
everything. Only they remember how you have made them feel.
Yes, feelings हमें भी याद रहता है, मैं भी याद रहता है, लेकिन सवाल है कि ये feelings आती कहाँ से? आपने देखा होगा, you might have seen in your organization, office, family, that the same episode has occurred, and if there 5 persons have witnessed it, maybe these 5 people may have different feelings. All the 5 don't have the same feelings. Have you observed this? कई बार ऐसा होता है ना? So these feelings कहाँ से आता है? ये word, this word, I think you had spoken few minutes earlier.
Sir, feelings
Our-
come from our emotions and beliefs.
Emotions are basically feelings. मैं उसमें बहुत ज्यादा, sorry मैं distinguished academic नहीं करना चाहता हूँ, but we use emotions and feelings both interchangeably. And something other thing you told along with that?
Experience.
Experience. Yes, yes, agreed. वो experience कहाँ आता है? वही experience for one person, the same experience one person uses in a positive manner, and the same experience one person uses in a negative manner. Why? Attitudes. आपने एक और वर्ड बोला था. These attitudes हैं क्या? टेक्स्ट बुक डेफिनेशन में नहीं दूंगा, लेकिन जो समझने वाली बात है, जिस तरह से मैंने समझा है, attitudes are our beliefs. Our beliefs about various things of this universe. For example, our beliefs about teachers. Our beliefs about company resources. Our beliefs about neighbors. Our beliefs about our juniors. Our beliefs about our seniors. Our beliefs about children. Our children. Our beliefs about other children. So attitudes, mainly I am telling you, आप किताब में पढ़ोगे तो बहुत many things they have written, that these are our beliefs about various things of life. When something goes contrary to our beliefs, that thing raise inside us a different set of feelings, different type of feelings than those episodes, those events, activities which are in line of our belief. जैसे बिलीफ है कि when a very senior person comes, everybody gets up. हर आदमी उठ के खड़ा हो जाता है, ये बिलीफ है। और आप एक सीनियर अफसर हो गए हैं या हैं, और आप जब निकलते हैं तो देखते हैं कि 2-4 लोग खड़े होते हैं और ज्यादा लोग बैठे रहते हैं, कैसा लगेगा? व्हाट विल बी द फीलिंग? If the belief is that कि when a senior person goes, all others, stand from their seats, और आप जा रहे हो, 1-2 लोग बैठा, बाकी नहीं बैठा रह गया या बहुत लोग बैठे रह गए, आपको कैसा लगेगा?
Hello, sir. I have a question. This is Pradeep.
हाँ, बोलिए। क्वेश्चन के बदले क्वेश्चन, दैट इज वेरी गुड थिंग। बोलिए
Sir, you-
प्रदीप जी, बोलिए।
yeah, yes. So you're saying that sometimes what happens that when a big shot or head of the company moves, people feel that they have to raise respect that. But I think this is more of a discipline thing. So is there a difference between discipline and feelings?
Yes, difference है। Those persons who have to forcibly get up, वो उनका बिलीफ नहीं है, लेकिन लोग दूसरे उठ रहे हैं, उनको भी उठना पड़ रहा है, तो उनको अच्छा नहीं लगेगा। और जो लोगों का ये बिलीफ है कि सीनियर के आने के बाद हमें उठ जाना चाहिए, वो उठ जाते हैं। दे आर डूइंग इट वेरी वेरी हैप्पीली, उनको कोई उसमें कष्ट नहीं होता है। तो डिसिप्लिन, व्हाई डिसिप्लिन में भी 2 चीज होता है ना, पॉजिटिव डिसिप्लिन, कंस्ट्रक्टिव डिसिप्लिन, और दूसरा डिसिप्लिन होता है कुछ, वो डिस्ट्रक्टिव डिसिप्लिन। तो कंस्ट्रक्टिव डिसिप्लिन क्या है? कंस्ट्रक्टिव डिसिप्लिन है कि बीइंग फॉलोइंग ए पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ बिहेवियर मेक्स मी फील गुड, वो करने में मुझे अच्छा लगता है, तो उसको हम बार बार करेंगे। जैसे पंक्चुअलिटी, सारे ऑफिस में ऑफिस ऑर्डर निकलता है कि टाइम पे आओ, 5 मिनट लेट आओगे तो अटेंडेंस कट जाएगा, सब हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा। लेकिन हमने कहीं नहीं देखा है, या बहुत रेयरली हमने देखा है कि सब लोग 100% आ ही जाते हैं उस पे। कई जगह हमने देखा है, जरा अटेंडेंस काट के तो देखो। कई जगह देखा है कि आज तो तुमने रेड मार्क कर दिया, और टुमारो एट 5:30 यू आर स्टॉपिंग मी कि नहीं, आधे घंटे रुक जाओ। तो नहीं साहब, आप तो रेड लाइन लगा देते हो, मैं क्यों आधा घंटे रुकूंगा? So all these things are happening because the beliefs are different. और beliefs अगर वही है, beliefs की नहीं, पंक्चुअलिटी, हमें पंक्चुअल हर जगह होना चाहिए, यहाँ होना चाहिए, वहां होना चाहिए, और वहां पे पंक्चुअल होने में आपको कुछ लगता ही नहीं है। पंक्चुअल हो गए, अच्छा, अरे यार 8 बजे आना था, अभी 2 मिनट बाकी है, तो अंदर से एक अच्छी फीलिंग आती है कि आई हैव डन समथिंग गुड। सो दिस फीलिंग, आई थिंक आई हैव कंफ्यूज्ड यू। Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm listening actually, because I was just relating it to the school environment. When a teacher comes in, even if you want or don't want, but you have to stand up and say good morning and all. So I just want to relate it with whether this is a belief that we should respect teacher, or this is a discipline which is asking students to get up from their seats and offer their greetings.
क्वेश्चन ये है, आपने आंसर भी दे दिया, रिस्पेक्टेड। So whenever teacher will come without without receiving the instruction from my head that I should stand, अपने आप में उठ जाऊंगा, है ना? और अगर ये बिलीफ नहीं है तो फिर उठना पड़ता है, जो होता है ना, उठना पड़ता है, अरे यार आता है तो उठना पड़ता है। So that is the thing. But what I'm talking that these attitudes or our beliefs, these beliefs determine in a particular event whether the person will have this feeling or that. I think the time example here from the real life to make it more clear. 2-3 मिनट रुक सकते हैं सर? एग्जाम्पल आज नहीं दूंगा, कल दूंगा।
हाँ, definitely. I think at least we can spare if if you're going to share something which is very interesting for us, we can spare those 2-3 minutes. I hope
You
everybody else is
know,
also agree with that.
we were 4 officers reporting to a senior person long back. I was senior engineer those days. And all the 4 of us were of different age level, different backgrounds also. But all of us were reporting to the boss. There was no internal report. उसमें बॉस वाज डिप्टी जनरल मैनेजर, उसके नीचे एक आदमी था वो मैनेजर था, एक डिप्टी मैनेजर था, मैं सीनियर इंजीनियर था, एक आईआईएम से आईआईटी से तुरंत आया था, वो इवन था, मतलब वो इंजीनियर था. तो बॉस वाज ए वेरी डिफरेंट टाइप. बॉस वाज ए रियली, वो क्या बोलते थे हम लोग, बॉस ने बुलाया है हम लोग नहीं बोलते थे, हम लोग बोलते थे गो टू द डेन, DEN, शेर का जो होता है ना उसमें जाओ. और पब्लिक सेक्टर होते हुए भी बहुत धुनाई होती थी हम लोग की. और जब डांट पड़ती थी बहुत ज्यादा, तो हम लोग वी वर लुकिंग एट ईच अदर्स फेस, बट नोबडी विल डेयर टू आस्क हिम दैट ये किसको पड़ रही है आज, है ना. दिस वाज द फियर. लेकिन ये पैटर्न चला, काफी दिनों तक चला, ऑलमोस्ट अ ईयर. So one day he was sitting at 15th floor and we were at the 12th floor. So one day what happened? Boss nahi the. Boss had gone on tour for a few days. So that was the golden time. हालांकि पूरा टास्क लेके गए हुए थे. We were sitting और हम लोगों ने बोला कि भाई ऐसे बॉस के साथ में हम लोगों को क्या हो रहा है. So people started describing their behavior. One person was there that whenever he will come out of the boss after getting a good गाली वाली सुन के जब निकलेंगे, तो लिफ्ट के लिए जब वेट करेगा, तो लिफ्ट में जाने के साथ that person will cut a joke. वो कुछ मिमिक्री या कुछ सुना देगा. एक आदमी रहेगा वो नॉर्मली लिफ्ट का इंतजार ही नहीं करेगा. लिफ्ट इज देयर, ओके, अदरवाइज he will climb down silently. One person was there who will invariably say, okay yaar, we are in a very this position, today I have tolerated, if tomorrow he uses the same language, I will hold him and jump from the 15th floor. And one person was there who was unaffected, and evidently he was most aged person out of us. So the person who will not catch the lift, he will go there, and his seat was near the wall. So he will put his revolving chair towards the wall, rest his head on the wall, and will be that in that pose for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. There are almost 30 persons sitting in that hall, people of different departments. So they will see and everybody will understand that कोई खास बात नहीं है, ये अभी बॉस के यहाँ से आया होगा, वो बैठे रहेगा वैसे ही. अब सवाल ये है कि provocation was same and these persons, their behavior was different. एक बोलेगा जंप कर जाऊंगा, दूसरा सिर दीवार में टिका लेगा, तीसरा जोक है, और चौथा जैसे स्माइलिंग आया था वैसे स्माइलिंग जा रहा है. Nothing is happening to him. What was the reason? The reason perhaps was that their behaviors were different and all the amusement अंदर से आ रहा है. जो सिर्फ अपना टिका रहा है वो बहुत ज्यादा दुख में आ गया है, वो उसको पश्चाताप, दुख, बेइज्जती, ये सारी चीजें महसूस हो रही हैं. जो बोलता है कि इसको कल मैं लेके जंप कर जाऊंगा, गुस्से में है, और इनका बिहेवियर डिफरेंट है, फीलिंग्स. तो सवाल है कि चौथे आदमी को पूछा गया कि भाई व्हाई यू आर अनएफेक्टेड, व्हाट इज टेलिंग, कि भाई अच्छा वो बिहेवियरल साइंस का कुछ नहीं पढ़ा होगा. दिस इंसिडेंट इज ऑफ 1980. तो वो क्या बोलता है वो कि भाई ये तो एटीट्यूडनल प्रॉब्लम है. मुझे अरे ये एटीट्यूड क्या, अभी That's not talking. And that's why you people सब उखड़ जाते हो और रोते हो, चिल्लाते हो। आज कोई आपका पेरेंट्स ने आपको क्या सिखाया है? You told my parents have taught me that you should never take bosses serious from left side and then go from the right. मगर तुम लोग हमें को पता ही नहीं। Accept the children problem. The question is that कि behavior, feelings, attitudes और एक लाइन बोल के मैं बंद कर दूंगा। And ये attitudes आते हैं हमारे values से आते हैं। Values are also beliefs. But what sort of beliefs? Very stronger beliefs, very deep beliefs, deeper beliefs which are rooted inside us. Although they are so deeply rooted inside us that all this indicator for what is right and what is wrong, that is triggered from there. ये अच्छा है, ये बुरा है, पंक्चुअलिटी ठीक है, नहीं है, चोरी नहीं करना चाहिए, सामान नहीं उठाना चाहिए, ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए, वैसे करना चाहिए. All these things are basically our beliefs only, but those beliefs which are very much deeper inside us, and these values give us our strengths. All the strengths we are having in our life, that is from our values. So question is that the values, attitudes, feelings, behaviors, the deeper you go, more difficult is to bring the change. And a facilitator is also a change maker. Out of many roles, they are the change makers. So question is that if as a facilitator, if you start working for changing the value of the person, you are not likely to succeed. उसमें सक्सेस का चांस बहुत कम होता है, क्योंकि लोग अपनी वैल्यू की रक्षा करते हैं, जितना उनमें बल होता है उसको लगा के उसकी रक्षा करते हैं. They can neither change, they not share. Value change occurs. I'm not telling that values cannot change, but not this way, not by lectures, not by these things. I do values laboratory basically for very top people, senior people. I don't say value change laboratory. I say value clarification laboratory. आप अपने values को you see it, then you decide change जरूरी है या change नहीं है. Change के लिए हम कभी decide नहीं कराते हैं. So these things are, attitudes are comparatively easy. This is how we understand a person. There is one more thing about which I will talk the next day, because I don't want to overstay you. So this is one small concept, and maybe in next session I will be talking about another small a few other concepts which are helpful in our facilitation. But sir and ma'ams, that exercise which I have sent to you, kindly go through it. I think it is self-explanatory, and do it assuming that you are the person. अगर ये joint committee meeting में बैठेंगे या बैठते हैं ऐसे meetings में, तो आप क्या करते हैं? Based on that, you have to allocate your points, and kindly bring preferably the hard copy if it is possible. In our next session, we will discuss about that thing that is called group role inventory. So, anything if you have to ask me.
Okay, sir. Closing down
I'm
session.
available. I don't have any barrier. I'm very sorry. Our 2 sessions could not work that well. I will try to compensate over it. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. I
Closing
think
down session.
it was a good day. Yeah, right. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you,
very
man.
much.